So 3 golf clubs, 2 at 19 degrees, 1 at 18 degrees, but which one is going to suit your golf game best? Is it the fairway wood, is it the hybrid, or is it the driving iron? Recently, a lot of my lessons have been asking which one should they buy, and in this video today I'm going to give you a little overview of what each club is designed to do and who it's probably going to suit best. Let's take a look at these 3 golf clubs now. So for this example of video here, I'm going to be using a line of Mizuno golf clubs. We've got the MP20 HMB 3 iron, which is at 19 degrees here. Steel shafted with a KBS Tour 115 gram X-Flex shafting. We then head over to, gorgeous little head cover on that, the Mizuno CLK 19 degree hybrid, which again has got an X-Flex, but this time is an 80 gram graphite shaft. And then third and finally, we have got the Mizuno ST200 5 wood at 18 degrees. Fairway wood, this one, graphite shaft, 60 grams, X-Flex. These shafts are obviously for me. You'd go and get a fitting to find out which shaft and what style of head is going to suit you the best. So 3 clubs there that, like I say, all different, but all have got very similar lofts to them, 2 at 19, 1 at 18. And why do we need different clubs? Why, with them being so close in loft, are they going to do anything different? But they are. And a lot of my students ask, well, what is the difference? And they come in and after making probably a poor informed choice and just thinking, well, that's the club of the moment, I'm going to go and get that one. They end up having to go and buy another club because they've not got the right idea of what each club does, because each one of these clubs is going to provide something a little bit different for us. Let's take a look firstly at the fairway wood and what that will provide for us. Okay, so first and foremost, the ST200 Mizuno 5 wood. Why is this going to be different, and what's it going to offer different to the hybrid and the driving iron? Well, with this one here, firstly, the head's a little bit bigger. We can see straight away as we put it down next to the others, it looks a lot bigger. It's also a little bit shallower, so the face of the club actually is a little bit shallower than the other 2. So from that instance, what's that going to provide for us? What does the design of the head allow it to offer us in terms of performance? Well, firstly, as we actually get a larger head, it means that we can move the weight around a little bit more around the perimeter of the golf club to maximize the forgiveness. On this club in particular, you can see a little weight placed towards the back of the sole of the club that's going to maximize that center of gravity and maximize the MOI to see that we're getting maximum forgiveness. Also, with it being a little bit, like I say, shallower and almost like flatter, it's going to get through the air a little bit better. So for someone who's looking for a little bit more club head speed, this is going to offer you that higher club head speed than, say, a 2 iron or a rescue club. So first things first, if you're looking for maximum forgiveness, this is probably what you want to be going for. If you're looking for more club head speed, if you're someone who really struggles with club head speed, you probably want to go down the 5 wood or the 7 wood route or whatever it may be, or a fairway wood. It's also a little bit longer as well, so unlike the 2 iron and the shaft is a little bit longer, and it's the lightest of all of them. So again, it's going to help us hopefully maximize that club head speed, which in turn should hopefully see a return in distance. So if we're looking for something where we want to get forgiveness, we want to get distance, this one is probably going to be the club that we would look for. When you put it down behind the golf ball, looks really, really inviting. Like I say, that slightly bigger head than the 2 iron. Obviously the old quote of only God can hit a 1 iron or a 2 iron, whatever it was. This looks a little bit different. When we put it down behind it, it looks like it's ready to be ripped. Let's just clip one off here and see what we get. Straight down the middle, and that there was a nice strike, slightly toey if anything, but really launched up into the air for me. We saw it pop up as it went out, and it was, like I say, it was that club that, even though it wasn't probably my best strike, I got the forgiveness, I got the height, I've got some distance out there. There's going to be a negative side to it though as well. If we were looking for something that we want versatility from, this club out of a little bit of rough, this club into some winds in terms of knocking it down, we're probably going to struggle with that one. Out of the rough, with it having that bigger head, that bigger surface, if you're in maybe the semi or like a little bit of deeper rough, which maybe the hybrid might be able to handle, this probably won't be the club that you would want to choose. So if you're in the market at the moment for one of these clubs and you're looking for forgiveness and you're looking for distance and you're looking for a higher launch, you're probably wanting to go down the route of a fairway wood to start off with. So onto the hybrid. What does the Mizuno CLK offer different to the fairway wood and towards the 3-iron? Well, this one, like we say, it's actually quite in between both of them. It's not quite an iron, it's not quite a wood. It's got a bit more of a compact head compared to the fairway wood, but it's not as thin and short as the iron. It's got a slightly deeper face than the fairway wood, but not quite as deep as the iron. The perimeter weighting isn't as great as the fairway wood, but better than the iron. It's going to be that sort of middle range club. If you're not looking for something from a fairway wood or your hybrid or driving iron that you really struggle launching it up in the air, or you're really struggling with distance or strike, the hybrid's probably going to be where you're going to sit in this marketplace. It's going to be something that can be used off the tee, off the fairway, out of the semi-rough. Depending on how thick the rough is, you can use it anywhere. They're great for chipping with. The fairway wood too is, but this is a little bit better around the greens. It's got so many uses, the hybrid, the CLK Hybrid. It also offers a little bit of adjustability. So we've got the neck where we can make the loft higher, we can make it lower. We can also make the club a little bit more upright. So if you're a player who isn't struggling with club head speed, but you're not quite at the top range of club head speed, you want something that maybe is going to launch a little bit higher than your 3-iron, your 4-iron. Let's just give this a little hit. This will probably be where we want to position ourselves in the marketplace. And straight away there, it's noticeably lower than the 5 wood. The 5 wood really shot up into the sky. I'm off the tee, obviously I don't want to damage the tee too much here, but even so, just picking that off there, the flight didn't launch as high as quickly, it didn't get to the top of the apex as quick, and it was a bit more of a flatter flight. So if you're someone who's playing courses where you need to still get a bit of distance, but you're not looking to launch it up in the air, you might be playing links courses, this probably could be a club for you. It's not going to launch as high as that 5 wood and see that, you know, it's straight up in the air. So if you're someone, like I say, maybe 3-4-iron aren't your cup of tea, but you want to get something that's going to land softer on the greens and launch a little bit more, the hybrid's going to offer you that option. It's also got the forgiveness of a fairway wood. It's got a lot more forgiveness than the 3-iron for sure. Because of the way of the design of the club head, they're able to put more weight down at the bottom of the sole of the club, put it around the perimeter, like I say, not as much as the fairway would, but it's still going to offer you a level of forgiveness that you go through it. So if you're looking for something where your speed's getting a bit quicker and you don't want to see that you're spinning the ball too much up into the air, and that you're wanting to get a little bit more versatility out of it, the hybrid is probably your cup of tea. It's going to be the one that you want to try and go towards. Okay, so the driving iron style. What are we going to see different from this to the hybrid and the fairway? Well, this is the club that we're seeing a lot of the pros bags, and there's a reason for that. To use this club efficiently and get the most out of it, you need a high club head speed. Because of the way it's designed, it's not designed for forgiveness and not designed to launch it high up in the air. So we need to be creating the speed to create the spin to get it airborne. One of the big problems we would have seen in the past when people did have the 1 and the 2 irons, there was such little loft on them that they weren't generating enough speed to get the ball flying. Nowadays there is a little bit more leeway in the type of head, so we see a little bit more weight towards the bottom, but this is the club that if you're looking for something where you are a high club head speed, where you're really getting a lot of speed from that swing, this is going to be more of the club, because what we would see from the other two options is that as you go to those, you would just balloon them. You would see that they would get too high up in the air a lot of the time. So this would be something where you're able to keep the flight down. You would see that it's not losing distance because of its climbing up into the wind or just spinning too much. So this is more of your players type club. It's probably something that you would use more maybe off a tee as a sort of a driving iron, in terms of if it was a par 4 and you were playing positionally, you would want to knock it down there. You might use it in terms of going into par 5s, but again, you would see that the flight is a little bit flatter. So it's not that one that's designed to get high up in the air and stops quickly on the greens and lands softly. It's more of the flat flight and goes out running. We often see when the Open comes around, a lot of these start appearing in players' bags. You see 2 irons, you see 3 irons, because they're not looking to use driver as much out on the golf course. They're looking for something where they can really control the flight of the golf ball off the tee to see that they can put it in the positions they want to get to. In terms of versatility, it's probably not the most versatile out of all of them. You know, chipping round the green, I probably wouldn't really chip with this. Would I use it out of the rough? If it was light semi-rough, if it was sat really nicely, you know, I'd feel confident to pick it up off there. But if it got a little bit deeper and it was sat down, it wouldn't get the launch out of the rough to get it going. So this is a club that's really designed for on the tee, getting that low launch, getting that initial flight away from it. It's not designed to be used all over as we're going through it. So, overview of them there, guys. 3 different clubs and 3 different things that they're all offering. One's maximum forgiveness, one is very little. One's low launch, low flight. One's high launch. One's right in the middle of it, offering more versatility. Like I say, it's not a review this, it's more of a guide to understand which one you should be buying, because like I say, some of my lessons have bought the wrong clubs thinking, oh well, that's, you know, that's the in club at the moment, I'm going to get one. Really isn't suited to your game. So have a think through, what are you replacing that 4 or that 3 iron for? Is it because you can't launch it? Is it because you struggle with your strike? Is it because they're going too high? Go through this and then you should find the one that you should be looking at, and then from there go for a fitting. I'd always say go for a fitting. Find which works best for you and get it tailored to your golf swing. I'll put information in the link down below as well for all the Mizuno fittings. The guys were kind enough to send me all this stuff to do videos. So guys, I hope this helped you. I hope it clears up, you know, the difference between a hybrid, a fairway and a driving iron. Hopefully you can make some better choices when you're going to go and purchase them. Thanks for watching this video. As always, do hit the subscribe button down below. It's totally free to do. Loads more lessons, loads more reviews for you coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the video.